You are tuned in to episode 79. Yes, I said it. Episode 79 of the Goodfellas Podcast. I am your host, G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. In the building, off top. Big shout out to the VP Shane. He's somewhere doing something, but hopefully he'll be able to tap in. And big shout out to my guy, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless. Hopefully he'll be in here pretty soon as well. He had to get some tests done today, so hopefully he'll be able to tap in with us in a little bit. And to be honest with you, he needs to be here anyway for that Emmanuel Tegu stuff. That's his guy, and he gonna have to answer for that. But big shout out to everybody. Anybody that's familiar with me, familiar with the channel, you already know what time it is. Put a 1 in the comment section if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the comment section if you can hear me. Then I know we good to go. Put a 1 in the comment section if you can hear me. Got family in the building. Adrian in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Man, I just need a 1 in the comment section. Can y'all hear me good? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me good? If you can hear me good, put a 1 in the comment section. And then we can get started. We got so much to talk about. So much to talk about. Adrian, put that 1 in. That's what I'm talking about. My guy Tree James in the building, man. Big shout out to Tree. Hey, yo, go follow Tree on Facebook. Go follow Tree on Instagram, KOIA 515. Go follow him. He has a fight next week, April 16th. You know, I'm gonna be supporting my guy, Lance Layham Down Williams. He'll be fighting as well on the same card. And you know, that's family right there. Big shout out to Coach Pepe Pena as well. So just to give a little bit of information on that, just, you know, it's bigger than just media person and boxing with those guys. So, you know, I'm gonna be you know what I'm saying, looking out for Tree, looking out for Lay Him Down, and I'm also gonna be donating towards the May show that Coach Pepe Pena is having next month. So you know, I put my money where my mouth is at the end of the day. And again, big shout out to Tristan Tree James, Lance Layham Down Williams, and Coach Pepe Pena out of Iowa. Those my guys. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to them. But let's just get down to it. This weekend was flames. Like this weekend was fire. Absolutely fire. And I'm gonna hold off on the Ryan Garcia, Manuel Tegu talk until a little bit later on, because I'm hoping Boxing First Vlog comes in here and he's gonna have to answer a lot of questions in regards to Manuel Tegu. But you know what? Let's get started with Erickson Lubin and Sebastian Fundora. I mean, that's fight of the year so far, as far as I'm concerned. That's fight of the year, hands down. That was a old school backyard brawl, and Sebastian Fundora just survived the longest. That was a survival of the fittest. And it seems like when we have these types of fights, my guy Shane in the building, man. Oh man, you know he living good, man. He got palm trees in his background. Oh man, I don't even want to know where he at. He out in the tropics somewhere.
What's good, bro? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
I'm around a lot of noise, so I'm gonna keep myself on mute and then turn myself on
Nah,
anytime
that's
I want
cool.
to speak.
That's cool. That's cool, man. It's good to have Shane up in the building, man. We just gonna get started with Sebastian Fundora and Erickson Lubin. To me, that's fight of the year so far in my book.
I
That was
just watched it about 30 minutes ago, and I
oh
said
man,
that's fight of the year for me so far.
yeah,
It's about that's
that's
fight of the year for me.
that's fight of the year, man. Like hands
Who
down.
did you have winning? Who did you have winning the fight up to that point?
I had Erickson Lubin up by a point. I had him up by a point. The way one of the judges had it, I had it the exact same way. I think I had it like 86, 85, something like that. Um, man, that was a war, man. Like it was a war. And it was, you know how some wars there's no skill involved? Like there was some skill involved going on in this one. And what I really want to get into is the whole Kevin Cunningham thing. Kevin Cunningham stopping the fight. And actually chatted back and forth with Kevin Cunningham a little earlier today. And I just reached out to him and just told him as a boxing fan, I appreciated what he did because it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about anything else. He did what he felt was best for his fighter. And, I just commended him for that. I told him that's why he's one of my favorite trainers because whenever he takes on somebody, it's bigger than just trainer fighter. It's almost like a father-son type combination. What you think about that, Shane?
I'm still in a little bit of noise, but in my opinion, I thought the stoppage was. I don't think it was premature at all because when you actually look at his face, he had a lot of damage. I felt there was a lot for Lubin to fight for still, and I still think he could have won even after all of that. But I understand why he stopped the fight. You live to fight another day, and I just feel like the tide was turning. I thought after the first knockdown that Fundora got on Lubin, I thought Lubin made a brilliant adjustment, and actually between the rounds 4 to 7, he done real good. But once he got hit with that shot in, I think it was round 9, he just worn him down.
Yeah, I agree 100%. What happened, it was so many adjustments that was made in that fight by both guys. And the one thing that I realized about Fundora is people think you could just go in there against Fundora and just pound his body out. That's easier said than done. That's easier said than done. Because of the amount of punches that he throws, the old saying, we don't trade body shots for head shots.
I was about to say the same thing, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
He lives by that. I mean, dude, you'd go in there with a game plan, hit his body, but this dude is relentless with head punches. Relentless. Look at Lubin's face after that fight, bro. He left this dude's face looking like a mattress.
Yeah. And let me before I say this is not from me. This is not from Shane. This is not from Vlog. This is not from this panel, but this is what I've been reading. A lot of people are wondering, was there VADA testing? I even seen somebody put a video up asking, was his gloves loaded? Because they had never seen Fundora do that type of damage to any of his opponents in his career. Off top, do you think there's anything to that, or do you think that's just people being conspiracy theorists?
I mean, I've seen faces worse than that, so I'm not gonna act like it's down to anything other than it being a fair fight. I've seen faces worse than Lubin's face, so
yeah, I started getting it on like my phone and stuff like that, and I was just like, Kevin Cunningham has been around the game too long for anybody to be having any loaded gloves or anything like that. And it just Sebastian Fundora just doesn't look like that type of dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was a fair fight, but they said Lubin had a broken nose. So if he had a broken nose, then yeah, your face is gonna, I think a broken nose and a separated shoulder. So he took some damage in that fight. But if you look at it, if your nose is broken, then that swelling is going to spread out like this, and that's exactly what his face looked like. So, man, that's fight of the year, man. That's fight of the year for sure, for me. And I knew I always knew I was a hardcore boxing fan, but I enjoyed every second of that violence. I enjoyed every second of it. Like,
and that's what it was. It was just maximum violence. Like,
yeah,
I mean, Fundora at some point. I mean, you've been speaking about Fundora for the last 3 years. But at some point, this guy has to be considered as probably top 3, definitely top 5 in the division.
Yeah, he's definitely top 5 in the division right now. To be honest with you, if Castano beats Charlo and it's Castano Fundora, just tell the judges to stay home. Tell the judges to stay home. Tell the CompuBox people don't even work. They're gonna throw 100 punches around, both of them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Nobody back is gonna touch the ropes unless somebody's hurt. And that's that. That fight would be, in terms of punches. Go ahead.
I think I'm not gonna lie. You gotta have a real good single or be an amazing boxer to beat Sebastian Fundora, because his size, his dimensions, and his overwhelming power. He's just like a better version of, even Brandon Figueroa, like literally a 154 Brandon Figueroa, just a lot more cleaner. His work is so much more cleaner. It's very clean.
I think let me get in this comment section real quick. Burt Wood, he said, hello, in their prime, cruiserweight or heavyweights, Usyk versus Holyfield, who would win? Holyfield at cruiserweight was a monster. At cruiserweight, that's a hard question, man. I'm talking about a cruiserweight. I think at heavyweight, I could see Usyk beating Holyfield by a decision at heavyweight. Holyfield in his prime at cruiserweight was a bad dude. It's kind of similar to Mosley when he was at 135. It wasn't many touching the van at cruise. I got to think about that one, Bert. That's a good one. I got to think about that one, bro. I had to get back with you on that one. Conrad in the building. What's going on, Conrad? What's up with you? Yeah, with Fundora. I mean, what's Shane like you said, like how do you beat Fundora? Like what do you have to do? Like you got to craft up a game plan. What do you do?
I mean, personally, first thing, I'm taking away those uppercuts. I'm making sure I'm using the levels from the beginning. So that means I'm not going to stand upright and I'm not going to stand square. I'm going to stand side on and I'm going to use the levels, kind of like what Andrade does. And then from there, I'm just going to try and land as much good, get his respect as early as possible, just so he just doesn't walk through you relentlessly without paying an admission fee, Get his respect as early as possible. Put a big shot on him, a power punch on him, a good single on him, where he has to think about what he's doing before he comes in. And then just real good ring movement, not unnecessary movement, not wasting foot movement, but real good foot placement. And using good real estate, not just fast real estate and running around the ring, but good real estate. That's my game plan.
Yeah, I almost feel like anybody that goes in the ring with Fundora, I think you got a max of 8 rounds. I feel like even with the perfect game plan with Fundora, you got 8 rounds to really, really, really get his attention, or it's going to be downhill pretty much after 8 rounds, because he's physically imposing. The punch volume is imposing, and then he's always coming forward. That's imposing as well. So it's just as much of a mental battle as it is a physical battle. How they say physical and mental pressure. Like he does both of those things, physical and mental pressure. And it's Lubin did a damn good job, man. Like he did a damn good job. It's just he just couldn't hold up. He couldn't hold up, man. And I felt like Kevin Cunningham did the right thing. Because the way you looked at his face, you could have imagined one of his orbital bones might have been broken. It's a lot of things that could have been wrong.
How did Charlo beat?
If Charlo don't hit him with I feel like if Charlo don't knock him out, he's losing. I feel like Charlo, like I say all the time,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, Charlo leaves his boxing IQ in the locker room sometimes, and Fundora is not the guy to do that with. He's not going to outwork Fundora. He's not going to do more work on the inside. Like Charlo's literally going to have to. He's going to have to knock him out. Like he's going to have to go through a moment like Lubin had.
You know one thing I like about Fundora, which is like people like Robert Easter Jr., Brandon Figueroa, dudes that are way too big for the weight. Udinis Ugas, who are too big in terms of height for the weight, and they like to fight on the inside. They they don't work behind the jab. He still works behind the jab still, which I have to give him credit for, because you can't just beat him at long range, even though he's an inside fighter. You normally think inside fighters don't have a good long game. His long game ain't that bad.
Nah, his long game is not bad. And I had people, I had a couple people message me, and they were like, why does Fundora not just fight on the outside and use his height? And I'm like, you are who you are. When I look at a tall guy, and hold on, big shout out to my guy BoxingFirstVlog. I'm gonna get to you just a second, baby. Yeah, it's like with Fundora, the main thing I'm looking at is are the shots compact or are they wide? His shots are compact. I've seen short dudes that throw wider than Fundora. You know what I'm saying? YSM Sports Media in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said only dude to ever do a live with a tropical background. Yeah, man. I'm paying this guy too much money, man. He out here with palm trees and shit. Man, hold on. Vlog. Hold on. Big shout out to my guy, BoxingFirstVlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K in the building. Your arrival has been waiting on, and we got to get to it because they've been asking me about this all morning and all day. Ryan Garcia and Emmanuel Tegu. Ryan Garcia, unanimous decision victory. For the people that don't know, I was on the channel with vlog most of that fight.
12-0.
So Shane, I'm gonna let you go first because y'all two haven't talked in a while. And then vlog, you got it.
Normally I do all the formalities, what's up, Blunt, all of that. Bro, you have to get the crow straight away, bro. You have to eat this crow, bro. Your dude came to fight with track shoes on. This dude ran and hugged the whole night. He done his best Joseph Parker impression for 12 rounds. And bro, the dude celebrated that he went 12 rounds. I mean, that alone was disappointing. I don't know what you saw in this dude to make you think he was top 5, because I didn't see a top 5 135 on Saturday. I didn't see that. I don't know what
stop right there. Stop right there. We got you. Key word in all of that you said was 135. This motherfucker was in there fighting a 154-pound contender. Come on, bro. Like you gotta analyze the fact that Ryan Garcia put the extra weight clause in there so he could have the back end weight as an advantage coming into the fight. So but the whole thing was set up for him to win. Hold on, bro. Huh?
I said Targi was running from the first 10 seconds before he could even implement that weight.
So you tell me, if you know you going into the fight with a bigger man, you going in there going toe to toe, or you gonna go in there and be as evasive as you possibly can and still attempt to get yours off when you can. You're not gonna go in there and allow yourself to get knocked out to please any Ryan Garcia fans. You're going in there to do the best job that you can because there's a natural weight disadvantage that they pre-set up. So none of these mainstream dudes ever brought up the fact that this is supposed to be a lightweight contender, but yet he's coming back and moving the weight up to another weight class that he wasn't even eligible for technically, or putting his name in the running for this next weight class. So what are we dealing with, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that not a factor? And again, I never said that. Hold up, let me finish. I never said that Tegu could beat anybody in the top 5, the top 6. But what he has done already should get him the opportunity at this $400,000 bag that, me and Jeff can go into again later. But anyway, that's my spiel on what happened. I'm not saying he didn't lose. Obviously, we saw that he lost. Obviously, you can also see that there's a major size disadvantage. So what would you expect in a situation like that? The bigger man should win the fight, and the bigger man did win the fight.
I saw limitations beyond size, bro. There was massive limitations beyond size. It wasn't just a size discrepancy that made me look at Targu and think he lost that fight. There was more than size, bro. I'm just keeping it 100.
You right. You so right. That's because you're perfect, and you not you so right on your side of the street that you're not even looking across the street to see if there's any information over there.
How much right hand did he throw in that fight?
How many right hands can you truly sit down to throw if your main concern is to be defensive?
No, but my point is
that's your main concern.
Size. No, but size shouldn't stop you from throwing a right hand, bro.
Okay, so if the person that you're throwing the right hand to is going to react with a bigger, stronger punch than yours, are you going to consistently let your hands go, or are you going to find your opportunities where there may be no return fire?
I didn't say he should. I didn't say consistently or even sit down on a shot. I'm saying you keeping your right hand in your pocket and trying. To me, I'm not a boxer, but I know that if I want to keep someone off me, common sense will tell me I need to land something off him to get his respect. That's common sense. You can't run for 12 rounds and expect to win. You have to put something on someone to get their respect. That's common sense.
Again, and I get you, and I'm not saying you're wrong, bro. All I'm telling you is when you get in there and you see the size disadvantage, again, the lamest motherfucking boxing fan can be like, yo, to not be much to be expected from a guy we already didn't know. And then secondly, the fighter we do know is coming in with advantages that nobody even really talking about, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously. All right.
I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real. I'll say this. 100% you're right about the 139 because that's basically a whole nother weight class. So that's 100% true. And Ryan Garcia, to me, he showed a lot of limitations himself in that fight through fighting Targu. I'm just saying, based on what I saw limitations in Targu. Remove Ryan Garcia out the equation. I saw great limitations. I saw a lot of things that I think basic fighters should know how to do, and he didn't know how to do. That's what I was disappointed with.
Okay, I hear you. Again, you asking a basic fighter to do something when the basic fighter knows I'm going in here against. It's like asking a tiger shark to do certain things against a great white. It's just not going to be plausible because of the danger that the tiger shark would put himself in.
When was the weight decided? When was the weight decided?
The weight was decided about 3 weeks before the fight. So he already knew he needed an advantage. And that, to me, it wasn't the up. Hold up, Shane. Let me go, bro. The up front wasn't the 139. It's the back end day of the fight weight that he's coming into with an advantage on. That's what I'm talking about.
You on mute, baby.
I said we already knew there wasn't going to be a rehydration clause because there's no title on the line. But the fact that you said that the weight was only decided 3 weeks before, that's a bit of... If it was decided from the start, that's on Tegu, because Tegu should have had enough prep. But if you're saying it's only 3 weeks before, that means he probably would have only had 1 week of proper sparring dudes heavier than him. So I get that. I'm going to give that to you. If it was only 3 weeks notice, that's true.
And my thing is, Shane, that none of these mainstream people brought it up. But if that would have been Charlo, if that would have been any other fighter that already get a lot of flack, this would have been a major flack situation coming into a fight, especially when they've been away from the game so long. So if you've been away from the game so long and you know you had a date of coming back, then you're setting your mode into training. Okay, if I'm training, things ain't coming out right. Look, we need to make this a 140 fight, and it looks like I'm gonna be in the 140 division. Just state that, bro. But again, when you make these under the table handshake deals and probably through Tagu 25 racks or something just to allow it to go ahead and be moved to this 4 or 5 added pounds, yeah, of course. And you talk about a guy that ain't never got a shot at a major bag. Why would he turn it down at the last minute?
As Blunt said, it's not even about the 4 or 5 pounds. It's a rehydration. So it's what you come in on the night. That's the most
That's my
important
point
thing.
exactly. That's
The
my,
most
and he
important
looked
thing.
like, me and Jeff said it, I was giving him 147, which is still a major advantage to a guy who's naturally 135 to 40 pound guy. Naturally. So he don't have to do a lot of weight cut sort of thing. He's just more conditioning when it comes time for him to get ready to box. He's not a guy that's running around dropping a bunch of steak meat. You feel what I'm saying?
I was still disappointed with that performance regardless. Even though I agree with you that the weight definitely, obviously you could clearly see they look like two different weight classes in there. But the performance alone, I was very disappointed with. I won't lie to you.
Okay, I can give you that too. But caution or take you off what you naturally would want to do too. You know what I'm saying? Caution will do that. Like if you drive fast and it's a snowstorm, you're going to be cautiously moving your vehicle. So, but you naturally are a fast driver. So the circumstances are caused what your natural abilities are to change. Jeff, man, jump in, bro, because I know, yesterday you was on my side, but now I don't know. Today, since you done talked to all your friends and your family in the social media world, you could be like, yo, Tagu trash. So I don't know. How you feel today, Jeff?
Well, first of all, my job is to bring as much entertainment to this show as possible. So to egg you on prior to the show, of course I'm going to do that. Of course I'm going to do that. Watching the fight, you can tell. I said Brian Garcia is probably every bit of 155. He was definitely. I felt like he was a junior middleweight in there. With that being said, Ryan Garcia, if the fight happened at 135 or 139, I felt like he was going to have like a 10-pound weight advantage regardless. Even if it was 135, he'd have had that weight advantage. Only difference really would have been he probably would have hit a wall at some point during the fight, and he'd have been trying to get a second win. The part where I was disappointed with Tagu is it was mainly two things. We talked about before the fight, like we don't know what kind of condition Ryan Garcia was going to be in. The fact that he moved the weight up to 139 instead of 135, you want to push his conditioning. You want to see what he can do when you make him work. So him moving around the ring and all of that, making Ryan Garcia try to find him, I didn't necessarily have a problem with that. The first two rounds, I felt like he was like running. After that, I felt like it was more strategic. But the main thing I was disappointed with is just he never tried to put anything together offensively. And that was the part that was disappointing to me. Because
Tagu, I don't know. Wow.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Shane. Shane ordering margaritas over there. It's just that was the main thing. It was just offensively, it seemed like he was so defensive minded that offensively it looked like he just whatever game plan he had offensively, it just went out the window. Like I didn't see anything. Even vlog when we was watching the fight live, we was just like, okay, we understand everything that he's doing outside of what is he gonna do offensively, and it just looked like he didn't even have a start point, like really outside of the jab. He really looked like he wasn't willing to try anything else.
Mm-hmm. Let me jump in with you. What it was to me was he never really fought inside. If you look at the highlights that were available and a couple of fights that were available, you never had that inside fighting game with his. He was always that Matrix sort of game, nicknamed Game Boy. So he was always sort of playing in there to a certain extent because at the time, again, he's better than the guys he's fighting. So when that changes to where, okay, I'm fighting a guy that's as good as I am and bigger than me and naturally stronger than me, it's going to take you out of that, what we saw on film and what we were able to share a couple lives ago. So it just, like I said, man, I can understand everybody's disappointment, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I see why y'all disappointed. But are y'all seeing why y'all disappointed? That's all I can ask in return.
Yeah, I just wish he would have just let something go offensively, and I'd have been cool with that.
So if he got
You know,
knocked out trying to exchange, you would have been cool with that?
for me, it'd have been better than him not punching at all. But he got to the back half of the fight. Like when you're facing a guy like that, you want to get to the back half of the fight. But in order to wear a guy like that down, even if they're coming off of a long layoff and things like that, you have to do something offensively to try to slow him down. He did everything but do anything offensively, and that's why Ryan Garcia was still fresh throughout the whole fight, because Taker didn't do anything offensively to change that. So that was the most disappointing
Only
thing.
thing he could do that he did offensively that didn't get him in any danger was the stab jab to the body. And that was it, bro. Anything else literally would have got him into down the road danger, even if he got out of it at that point. Let's just say y'all saying throw the right hand, let the right hand go. Okay, let's say he got that right hand off at that point. Him doing that, he would have been like, oh, I can get this right hand off in these particular joints. How we don't know that Ryan Garcia's boxing IQ isn't so elite that he's waiting for that. Like, okay, take it now. I'm gonna set you up later. So
we know his boxing IQ ain't elite, and that's why I was just like, that's why. But we both know that. But that's why I was just like, I was willing.
Does Tabu know that? Does Tabu know that?
Yeah,
is what I'm at.
Yeah, he's a smart fighter.
He didn't let the right hand go at certain times that we probably thought as fans and commentators and pundits that he should have let it go. But what in his mind, what if I do let it go and I get it home and I try that later?
Well,
I might pay for it. Like, you don't know what he's thinking. We're not in there fighting this goddamn. I mean, shit, this motherfucker might as well have been a giant to Tagu, bro. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't understand it, but I'm just saying that's the disappointing part about it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I was disappointed too, and I felt like I introduced him to the Western Hemisphere as far as being a boxer who's been accomplished and maybe should get a look. Again, you can go back to my words. I never said he could beat these guys. All I said was, here's a guy that has actually been a world champion, maybe in a minor tier organization, but he's still been their champion. He's had other regional titles and things like that. More of an international game. Why not give him a look, fresh face, since these four quote unquote kings aren't fighting each other?
You did say he was top 5 though.
Top 5 based on resume. You have to go. You can't say top 5 just based on skill. I never said his skill makes him top 5. His resume to me made him part of that upper echelon, and the opportunity should have been handed probably before now. So we talking almost a year and a half, 2 years later.
Yeah, I just so basically for the people that didn't listen to the live stream vlog did, and I jumped on it and we were on live for the fight. Just from a technical standpoint, because I don't want to just jump on here and just be like, oh, Tegu this, Tegu that, get him up out of here. Like we talk more intelligently than that. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I seen like during the fight. I think I jumped in. What was it, like round 3, round 4 vlog? I think it was like 8 rounds in, and I was like, he's still not adjusted to the speed yet. He got the distance down, but I was like, he's still not adjusted to the speed, and it was 8 rounds in. It was going into round 9, and that was a problem. Vlog and I talked about that wide left hook he was throwing, which, to be honest with you, I'm like, if he would have threw the right hand except for the left hook, at least that gave him an opportunity to smother the work. So he was throwing the left hook and it was wide, and I think it might have been round 6 vlog, round 6 or 7. I was like, yo, I said, his left hook is wide, and I said, Ryan Garcia's timing it and he's just missing. I'm like, he just missing it. 2 rounds later, boom, here comes the right hand, right in between that wide left hook. And I felt like those are the 2 main things that I seen. Now, it was a lot of rabbit punching from Ryan Garcia, no doubt about it. Tegu was doing a lot of holding around the legs too and bringing it up. He was doing that as well. Really outside of that, that's why I was saying like that right hand. I wish he would have tried the right hand because I was like he actually was telegraphing the left hook, and I'm like that's the one punch that Ryan Garcia was actually seeing, and it leads right into his right hand. So I'm like I was waiting for him to let the right hand go. He just refused to let it go, and because Ryan Garcia, there was a lot of things he didn't do in that fight technically. The only thing that he did right in that fight is in his combinations and body shots. That's the only thing he did correctly, and an occasional uppercut. To try
I thought he did something correctly myself, but I'm gonna let you finish with yours.
Okay. And I felt like he threw an occasional uppercut to get Tegu to not squat down so much. Those is really the two main things that I seen from Ryan Garcia, and he just continued to work. Like he just continued to work, but it's hard not to work when you were, you probably a whole weight class or more, above the guy that you're fighting, But go ahead, Vlog.
I thought defensively, him fighting tall worked for him in this particular fight. He's not the best Philly shell guy, and probably nobody that ain't from Philly going to, do it better than I say a Mayweather type of guy. But just in general, his Philly shell served him well. Why? Because of his height. So it actually, when Tegu was attempting to jab upstairs, it was making Tegu reach. So when you're reaching off your jab, you're even less likely to follow up with a shot. Why? Because that's leaving you defensively unsound based on the geographics. So you're really opening up. So I'm going to let both my hands go, and then I got to get back to my natural defensive position where I can either turn, roll with it, dip under it, something like that. So if he figured he let the jab go, at least I could just get back faster because I'm only letting one shot go. You see what I'm saying? So he was overtly cautious based on what was in front of him, bro. No one's giving him credit for saying, damn, bro, you fighting the best you can based on what's in front of you. Don't go out there and get yourself murdered for the fans. Nobody said that. I don't agree with that from any fighter. Yeah. So if you see the survival in a fighter, I think the fighter knows I'm outmatched. I'm just going to do what I can do in here, and it is what it is. We've seen that before. So we don't give fighters credit for knowing they're outmatched, but not like just, I'm going to take a knee. The one shot that grazed me, I'm murdered and I'm out of here. So we don't give fighters no credit, for, I don't know, man, just understanding the positions that they're in, but yet making it through that position without being mauled and end up in the hospital on some Lubin type shit. So,
well, one more thing that Ryan Garcia did well is he countered Tegu, and mentioned that in the live. The one way to discourage a counterpuncher is to counterpunch him. So he made Tegu. Tegu's not used to throwing 3, 4, 5 punch combinations. If you actually study Tegu, a lot of his stuff is 1s and 1-2s. He's not used to throwing the 3rd or 4th shot in order to land. And I don't know if that was on purpose. Yeah, I don't know if that was on purpose or that was just something just within.
I think that's the way he is naturally, because he's a defensive guy naturally. And if you're sound defensively, then you can attempt to do some things. Throw these uppercut ones and these overhand sort of rights and some of that tricky little things where you were saying he's going up and down. You can kind of do that if you're just throwing some singles. Boom, throw a jab, stick jab to the body, then come right back up with a jab, slide out of there, type of stuff that we saw. So yeah, that looks good against, again, lesser competition. So we're taking away from Tegu by saying he trash, but that's not also giving Ryan Garcia credit by saying, well, he's definitely an elite guy in boxing. We've seen him dominate the guys he should dominate. And that's including a guy I'm speaking of. So I never said my guy could beat any of these dudes. I just said, give him a look. He deserves a look. And he's an OG. So why hadn't he already got a look before now?
Yeah, Adrian said I was told top 5. Yes, you were told top 5. Absolutely.
Based on the accomplishments, bro.
Said
I
I don't
never
want to
said
hear
he
that
was top.
man name again. Hey man,
I
I don't.
mean,
But the
everybody
thing,
got a right. Everybody, I get the
I,
cat. I accept the cat, but maybe
I
send that to him. I can still talk about him because there's other matchups where he'll do well. And I'm gonna give you a name right now, JoJo Diaz, same network. That is more of a matchup that suits Tegu.
this,
Not a
but
good
see,
fight,
this is
great fight.
this. No, I actually like that fight. But see, that's why. That's the main reason I said I wanted to see Tego do something offensively. Because when you run the tape back, you don't see anything offensively. So basically, the zone, they need people at that weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like they need people at that weight class. And I'm looking at this fight from the first round. I'm like, yo, I said Ryan Garcia is too big. I said he's too big. He's too quick. And you can see
Same,
it from the
same thing.
jump. Yeah, you can see it from the jump. And I'm like, what is Tegu gonna do offensively to show that he's kind of a live dog in the fight? And that's where I'm like, I don't know if they give him another look because he didn't do anything offensively.
All right, that's
Defensively,
untrue. That's untrue. That's
well,
untrue. That's
how
untrue.
is
And I
that?
can go back
How is that not true?
that where you're saying that these fighters don't get another look. We just had the dullest fight, and then Nikita came back and showed out excellently against Burchell.
Oh, but sure.
So again, that's that. I don't think. And then you again going against what you just said. They need some sort of names. They need at least a guy that's now I wouldn't say a fringe contender, but a guy that you could put a contender against. That would be Tagu. I never said he was elite, bro. I just said he deserved an opportunity. You talking about 31 straight wins, bro. Matter of fact, 32 straight wins. And then you hadn't got a world title shot. That's it. That's kind of incredible.
Yeah,
or a major world title shot.
If you're in the zone shoes, do you give Tegu another opportunity?
I just gave it to you. I just gave you Diaz. That is a beautiful fight.
How do you promote that though, based off of what he showed in the Ryan Garcia fight? Though that's my question. How do you promote that?
Where we ain't never seen JoJo Diaz come in there trying to impose some natural weight advantage on people. So there's more equivalent based on the natural matchup. Then you can see whose skills are actually better at this weight class. When you got a guy that set the fight up to come in as the naturally bigger guy. Why? So he can have a showcase knockout. But yet, the media being the media, they never spoke on the fact that, damn, bro, you really setting this up to be the bigger guy. You're already the bigger guy.
Yeah, we are.
Make your weight.
We seen that. We definitely seen that. We spoke about it. Like we seen it.
Yeah, but no,
about it.
I'm talking about the people that haven't and the people that are giving more cap to Tagu than giving cap towards Ryan Garcia for coming in at damn junior at welterweight, bro. Like I'm a curb him and say he didn't come in 2 weight advantages ahead. He came in a minimum at a welterweight, what a welterweight weight would be coming into a welterweight fight.
Yeah, I said 155 because,
and that's you're more likely correct. But I wasn't even trying to go that hard. I'm just saying he has an advantage and he set it up to have an advantage, bro. What's the cap for him? No cap for him.
Well,
right,
I mean,
it is what it is.
I've seen Ryan Garcia get his fair share today too. I don't think anybody was overly impressed with Ryan Garcia. He did what he was supposed to.
Yeah, he did. He won.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he won. That's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
but they wanted him to they wanted the knockout. So I guarantee you the shade is coming from him not getting the knockout against a guy who couldn't go toe to toe with him on a punch for punch scenario.
Yeah, but I think like I said, people gotta really look at what Tegu was doing defensively, because I'm like, with that size difference and them punches, coming downward. Anybody logically watching that fight, I might tell you who probably should have been out of there within 8. But you know, you got to credit his survival skills. You got to credit what he's done, what he did defensively. And I'm talking outside of the movement. Even when he was in the pocket, he was getting low, he was getting below shots. Like I said, you can see that he's schooled defensively. It's just when you facing a guy that physically imposing, when you facing a guy that dynamic, you're gonna get hit at some point during the fight. The fact that he lasted 12 tells me that he's skilled defensively. That's what it tells me. A lot of people won't say that on camera, but I don't, I don't do what other people do. But yeah, guy usually that size, 9 times out of 10, they get knocked out within 8 rounds, man. So I wouldn't say throw cap towards Ryan Garcia. I would say throw credit towards Tegu for actually making it 12, because not everybody's gonna do that against that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that, and again, it's something people probably don't want to hear. I hope he gets an opportunity against a guy that's closer in weight, better circumstances. Will DAZN give him that opportunity? I don't know. I don't have a problem with the JoJo fight. I don't have a problem with the JoJo fight at all. I feel like JoJo would be a good opponent. You know what I'm saying? But
any true lightweight last night that's right now outside of a Devin Haney, meaning height and natural size, would have had issues in a fight with Ryan Garcia Saturday night. Even Tank size. The only thing would have kept Tank in that fight on a natural ability is his power to be able to knock out a junior middleweight or welterweight. So, but just based on the size disadvantage, the height and the length, and Cambosos would have had issues. Teofimo would have had issues. This guy is just coming in at a different weight class, bro. Like, what are you going up against? Like, I mean, I don't know. Again, it's cool, though. It's cool.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia is like, for as much as people talk about Ryan Garcia, people can't deny that he's physically gifted at 135. Like, he is physically gifted at 135. He got everything you're looking for. He got the height, he got the speed, he got the power, he got the quickness.
Is he 135 though? That's all I want to know.
Well, that was his first time outside of 135.
So
I do think the 139. I think the 139 was strategic. To be honest with you, and we've seen top guys in the sport play that game, and we know why. So he's just another name along the line of so many just guys, A-side guys in the sport that has done that. So we knew Tegu was going to be behind the 8 ball anyway. Just watching the fight live, I didn't know the size difference is going to be that big, though. I'm thinking maybe under 10.
When you asked me for to predict the fight. The best way I could go with trying to be as positive as I could for Tegu was said to draw. That was the best way I could go, because I knew it was set up for Ryan to win. There's just no, unless Tegu knocked him out, and then when you seen the size disadvantage, okay, how the fuck is he gonna knock this dude out? He gonna need a goddamn can of paint.
I mean, like I said, Tegu, he survival skills, defensive skills, however you want to put it. He got to the 12. I know offensively Tegu's a lot more capable than what he showed Saturday. I just wanted to see the attempt. And I just never got it. You know what I mean? Like that. But again, that's the part that I'm disappointed with. But I'm
Adrian,
like, go ahead,
Adrian, I'm not mad at your feelings and listening to a guy like me, but I'm gonna find another guy that you probably ain't gonna like, and you're gonna say he trash too. But you know what I'm saying? We gotta keep digging in these boxing crates to keep the game floating. You know what I'm saying? We can't just keep letting these guys that have never had their opportunity just walk off into the sunset without getting it. That's all.
And I wanna put this out here before I get in the comment section. The initial argument between Vlog and myself in regards to Tegu was whether he was top 5. After I did my homework on him, I did say he was well schooled, and I felt like Ryan Garcia should get credit if he beat Tegu. I felt like he was a quality opponent. Now that was prior to the whole 139 and all that other stuff. But I did feel like Tegu was a quality opponent in terms of being well schooled inside of the ring. You could watch a guy and see if they well schooled or not. And whether they're gonna perform under them lights, that's something completely different. You know what I'm saying? But not every guy is well schooled. You could tell he's a well schooled fighter. It's just disappointing to see how it played out. But I don't want people to think that the initial argument was Tegu trash. I said I didn't know. I said I didn't see him fight at that time, and I didn't know enough about him to give him top 5 billing. And Vlog did think he was top 5 billing, and that was the premise of the argument. So I want to make that clear for the people that's been
but they still not understanding my premise of why I said he was top 5.
Yeah, I mean even under Vlog's premise, I still ain't. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just said you can still disagree with me, but I still have a premise for why I said he's top 5. You talking about a dude that lost his first fight at 15 years old and went on a 32 fight winning streak, mostly within the 130, 135, or 130 weight class. I think he took a fight at 140 many years ago, probably like just trying to get a bag sort of situation, and obviously he pulled it out because again, he didn't have his second loss until just here recently. So you talking about a guy that should have got an opportunity. And again, we said an IBO lightweight champion of the world, not no belts that somebody gave you in the mail, not no belts somebody had you go pick up at the jeweler, none of that sort of silver, aluminum, and any of these other belts that they got out here. He literally won an organization's lightweight title. So you talking about why he hadn't got an opportunity. There have been lightweight champions before the quote unquote 4 kings. So am I wrong?
No, I agree.
So why hadn't he got a look? So why hadn't he got a look before then? That's all my premise was originally about. So if you can disagree with me or you can agree with me, but I would like to know.
I feel like a guy like that, he has to do those type of things to get a look, and do I think he deserved a look? Absolutely. I felt like he deserved a look. I just never thought he was top 5 billing under any circumstances, but that still don't mean I ain't think he deserved a look. I obviously, like you could tell that he's a well-schooled fighter. Like he deserved a look.
He beat Cambosis. He beats Cambosis. He beats Cambosis. And Cambosis is a world champion.
Bro, you was crazy. You was crazy, bro.
You telling me
not after that performance Saturday, you cannot say that.
All right, you going on that performance, but you not talking about who the fuck he was performing against, bro. You act like this motherfucker went in there and lost against a shadow. Come on, bro. Like, bro, okay, you went in there and fought.
If that Tegu shows up, Tegu beats no one in the top 15. If that Tegu shows up,
all right. Well, again, we can that happens in the fight game. Look at the Harrison that we saw against Perella, and then look at the Harrison we saw Saturday night against Sergio Garcia.
Bro, one of the best. So much money, bro. I missed out on so much bread, and I just didn't bet. Remember, I said I was going to bet Tony Harrison, bro. I never bet it. Yep. And I was going to bet Fundora. I didn't bet that neither. I missed out on so much paper.
Tagu fucked off my ticket. I ain't gonna lie. Tagu fucked off my ticket.
Tagu has to beat a name before I mention his name with anybody in terms of
I agree. I'm just telling you based on size. He matches up better with a true lightweight. I don't know if he could be. Hold on, let me go back. I don't know if he could be at a Teofimo Lopez. Why? Because Lopez is naturally the bigger guy. So he may struggle against those guys, but you give him guys that's truly within his range. I think he's comparable.
Do you think he should fight at 130? You think he should fight at 130?
At this age, 35, that's what I'm saying. At this age, you about to be 35. Next fight probably ain't gonna be till he 36. So are you really wanting a guy that age to try to cut even more pounds off when he just had to add pounds for a fight?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's my question. So like in this day and age, guys are rehydrating anywhere between 10 to 20 pounds before fight night. Tegu looked like he ain't put on no more than maybe 4 or 5 pounds.
That's what I said. He's coming in at 140 naturally. But
this is my issue. This is why when we were having a discussion before, and I'm like, yo, the level of guy he's fighting is important, because when he got these lower weight classes, the dudes that's at the top 10, top 15 dudes, they're, like I said, they're gaining between 10 to 15 pounds. I mean, 10 to 20 pounds. So he's coming in. He's coming in like
behind the 8 ball. I get you.
And
I can't argue and say, well, yeah, that's unfair, blah, blah, blah. That's the course of the game, and puts him behind the 8 ball. All the way back to my original point. Before the 4 Kings showed up on the map, he deserved an opportunity at a title shot. That's all I was basically saying, because before that, he had been on a 30-fight winning streak or a 25-fight winning streak.
Do know going forward, though, Vlog. Do know going forward. If Tegu's fighting anybody in the top 15 and he's not rehydrating like the rest of these dudes are, every fight he gets into, he's going to be the smaller dude. He's going to be the smaller dude.
I get you.
It's going to be, the onus is going to be on him too, because if we're going to give him that pass, then
I'm not giving him no pass.
No, but it's a reality though. It's not even a pass. It's a reality.
Yeah.
It's a reality. So I'm like, if he's not going to do anything offensively to kind of offset that, like we really can't go 10 toes down and be behind him, because he's just going to get blown out every fight.
I never asked nobody to, bro. This is my guy. I went and did my crate work like an old DJ and blew off the record. I was like, oh, this looked like some interesting numbers here. Right. Let me look into this cat. So that's what I did.
I know, and I understand that, and I respect that.
I know you do. But for the haters that are going to be in my DMs, I ain't even been on the gram yet. I ain't posted nothing about the fight. I ain't been on Twitter. I don't even want to.
They've been looking for you, bro.
I know they have, and it's all good. I've been at the gig. I'm getting my money right now. You know, Tagu got his money. I still got to get mine. You understand what I'm talking about? And he got paid, and he got some chips. So it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get knocked out. So I'm sure you put a bag on. I'm going the distance. I'm sure you was that confident in your defensive abilities to go the distance.
Yeah, we said he was going to go. We said he was going to go 12. We said he was going to go 12. I
didn't bet.
I'm glad he got the opportunity. I'm glad he got paid. For sure. Did he deserve a look? Yeah, he deserved a look. You know what it reminded me of, in terms of his pedigree and the reason why he got an opportunity? You know, his story is exactly similar to Philip Ndu. For the people that don't know who Philip Ndu is, that's the African cat that Floyd Mayweather fought back on HBO when back in his Pretty Boy Floyd days. And if you need more of a description, Floyd Mayweather has a highlight where he's literally shoulder rolling like this for a good 30 to 45 seconds. And that was probably one of the more action-packed rounds you'll ever see Floyd in. But he ran off about 26 or 27 straight victories, and I think his knockout ratio was about 90% going into that fight. So it was similar to that. So we've seen guys from other countries that go on a run like that, and they end up getting the opportunity that they supposed to get. So
this unfortunately, 30-fight run, nigga.
And Philip Ndu went on. I think his run was like 25 plus. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we've seen this before in history. And we've seen these type of guys get opportunities. Unfortunately for them, they have no negotiating power, no nothing. So they got to take whatever they can get. And that's exactly what Ryan Garcia did. And again,
exactly.
I'm not knocking Ryan Garcia neither. I'm like, he
I am.
that's what he
I'm
yeah.
knocking him.
Because the
I think he's a
thing about
sucker.
it, for me, this is why I'm like with Ryan Garcia, I'm like, this is using your A status to the max. Because I'm like, he would have had the same advantages at 135. He was going to be the bigger man regardless.
And you
Like
know what he
he just
also
added
knows?
an extra layer of icing on it.
That's what I said. The extra back end money. And I can come in 170. Oh shit, nigga, I'm about to stomp this motherfucker into the ground. But you couldn't do it, so it made you look even worse. You gave yourselves all them fucking natural, quote unquote, natural advantages, and you still couldn't get the job done. Sucker,
I
straight
just don't.
sucker.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I hope Tegu gets another opportunity. I don't know if he does, but I hope he does. And that was he had probably every disadvantage you could possibly think of against him. So I'm like, to be
I
honest with you,
defended the fight. If don't nobody agree with what I said, man, so be it. I mean, we can
we
we can agree to disagree on this particular one, but
we kept
I
it
think it's
we kept it a
you know
bean. Like we kept
yeah,
it a bean
I
on a
did
fight. Like
too. You know what
right,
I'm saying? I
Garcia.
ain't reach out to my man, but I still want to get that interview with him.
Garcia did exactly what he was supposed
What
to
he
do,
was
being a
supposed to
bigger,
do.
stronger, faster, quicker man.
But you
And
didn't
just
get
more
the
physically
KO. So
talented. You didn't get the
technically
KO.
you slipped up. So technically you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And you went through all of that under the table, shady shit, last minute, backroom sucker shit to give yourself this advantage to make that KO easier, and you still couldn't do it. That's why you was in there rabbit punching, because you didn't realize Table was going to be that defensive. Oh, man, I'm just going to start hitting him where I can hit him right now. And he started the rabbit punching in the very first round on the very first clinch. So that's, again, a lot of sucker shit that go on in the fight that people just, that's just boxing. No, nigga, that's
another
shit.
thing. That's probably the only other thing that Tegu was doing that I didn't like. When you clinching at the legs, I don't like any fighter doing that. Like he was getting so low, but he was clinching at the thighs. Like he was clinching at the thighs and coming up. So it was almost like he was almost like lifting him up and shit. And Tegu ain't he's not a weak guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you said all the time, like that old man strength. So a lot of times when he was clinching below the waist. But that's still no excuse for no rabbit punches. But me personally, I don't like when guys be clenching at the legs and be trying to come up.
Get you.
I don't like
I
that.
Get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you. That could have been his level of skill needing to even progress at this state in his career. Like some things like, oh, that's a bad look. You could take somebody's knees out like that. You see what I'm saying? Things you don't want to do. I agree with that. That's something I didn't look at and per se see until maybe round 5, round 6, when he was definitely starting to really tie up a lot. But I agree, he was doing that. He was doing that.
But I mean, the bottom line is, Tegu got his opportunity, and a lot of guys in the sport don't get the opportunity. So he got his opportunity. He got the bag that he wanted. I hope he gets another opportunity against a guy that's more of his size, and that's all I can really say on it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't think anybody came out looking like roses after that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fight just happened. Like, it was what it was. You know what I mean? Burt Wood, G5, talk about great fights. Don't forget Tyson Holyfield won. Holyfield said before the fight, I fear no man. Betting odds were 25-1 in favor of Tyson versus Holyfield. Vlog would have loved those odds. Some of them odds back in the day was insane. Like, they were insane. Like, you seen back in the 90s, you seen lines that was 25-1, 30-1, 35-1. It was fights with Roy Jones that they wouldn't even put the fight on in the casinos, like, because they was just going to lose money. You know what I mean?
But also, we got to remember this, Bert. They wasn't testing back then like they testing now. And even then, I remember people saying, well, Holyfield, he muscling up pretty quickly. So when you juice, not to say you allegedly, if you have that juicer's mindset, again, you can say what he said. I don't fear no man. Of course. PCP motherfuckers say that shit all the time.
Hey, Burt Wood, what I actually want to start doing on the channel is when it comes up to like maybe anniversaries of old fights, maybe like 5-year anniversaries, 10-year anniversaries of fights. I actually want to have flashback like watch shows where we actually queue up that fight on YouTube and we all just go back and just watch it and just kind of just enjoy the fight. So like a Tyson Holyfield one. So if you got any fights that you thinking of that we could go back and watch, definitely let us know. My man Bruce in the building. What's going on? Said peace, my brothers. Peace to you, good brother. Adrian, good survival skills, especially after being dropped later in the fight. Oh yeah, like listen, like Tegu, tough dude, like tough dude, man. Like he like I said, he was supposed to have been out of there in 8 rounds, and I'm like, I give all credit to Tegu for that. I didn't throw cap at neither guy. I just said I was disappointed in Tegu, and Ryan Garcia needs more work because he's technically not polished. You know what I mean? Adrian, he said, I'm just messing with you, Vlog, because how often he said Tegu during these lives. Nah, Vlog promoted him well. He promoted him well.
Trying to get his opportunity, baby. I ain't get a bag or nothing, but I got love, for those that deserve their opportunities.
I'm not gonna lie, Vlog deserve a bag. How big of a bag? I don't know, but he deserves a bag out of that for sure. Bruce, he said, do you know anyone of these names on Tegu's record? He said, I don't. See, that's the thing, Bruce. Like we talked about that a while ago when we were so when Vlog and I was really looking at tapes, like it was, for us, we was just like, nah, like we ain't hearing none of these names. So when we was looking at tapes, we really was looking at what Tegu was doing inside of the ring, like what skill set was he showing, and you could look at Tegu and run some of them fights, and you could see that he's a well-schooled fighter. So to answer your question, no, we didn't know any of the guys, but you could look at him and tell that he's a well-schooled fighter. Will Stokes,
but Bruce, let me respond. Bruce, ahead, that's a lot of fighters though, Bruce. Like we could go back to Haney's resume for when he first fought in Mexico and be like, well, who was he fighting? Like, you see what I'm saying? And be like, do we give him credit for that 2-0 victory, 3-0 victory, them sort of fights? Whatever point it was, he built up the resume he could build up to get an opportunity at the people that are the ring magazines and whoever the pundits are saying is these number one guys and the current champions. Like I was saying in his defense, if you're just a guy, you looking for a name, and that's what these managers and these promoters do. These are guys that you find, somebody that's marketable. Okay, look at this dude. He's on a 20-fight winning streak. You don't have to always know the names. It's what is the accomplishment that you're really marketing. Now, sometimes the name helps with these underdogs. You know what I mean? Oh, such and such who's an underdog, but yet he beat this such and such. That helps. But if you're looking at from a guy that deserves opportunity, for sure he does. He definitely have been deserved an opportunity at $100,000 fight or whatever the minimum would have been some years ago.
Yeah, and like I said, we've seen this before in history. Philip Ndu, he ran out 25-30 straight before he got the Floyd fight. And I think at the time, he might have been 30-1 with like 20 something knockouts. Like his knockout ratio was pretty high. Will Stokes, he said, I hope I didn't miss Vlog defending Tegu. Yes, you did miss it, but he did own up. We got a little both. He defended him, but he owned up as well, man. My man kept it a G. He kept it a G on this one for sure, and I ain't expect nothing less. Burtwood, Tegu's biggest win, he beat Butterbean. You got juice. YSM. I've taken steroids before for a medical issue. I felt superhuman. Hey, man, let me find out you juicing up on the media side, man. Oh, man, nah, I know people that have taken steroids, and it takes your body on a whole nother level. I mean, it's almost like when guys take HGH, like human growth hormone, like it just takes your levels like all the way up. You know what I mean?
Now,
Charles,
go ahead, bro. Those are the type of drugs, to me, is usually we know the mind controls the body, but when you're supplementing the body in that form, your mind might start following your body. Your body's telling your mind, we can do this. So it might come out verbally. Because again, it might be going through the reverse factor of the normal process. They say the mind controls the body, and this is somewhat true unless we sleep and that sort of thing and having to shit and piss and all that other natural stuff. But in general, yes, our mind controls our body. But imagine if you're supplementing the body with some of these Reynoso packs, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about
Right.
your body may start telling your mind, yo, we could go make this 4-story jump.
YSM was on a Reynoso pack. He went in the boots in them gym and started knocking out sparring partners and all. He put the camera down and everything.
He put the camera down. Take me up.
Camera down.
Go ahead and put hands on somebody.
YSM went to the gym and started putting hands on folks, man. Big shout out to my guy. YSM,
shout out family. Shout out family.
Charles Wilson, he said, "What's up, my brothers? What's up with you, family? Second Ezra, peace to my boxing family. Big shout out to you, bro." Bruce said, "Dude was handpicked." Yeah, you know what? He was handpicked with. I think they knew they was going to up the weight for a while. I think they knew they was going to up the weight for a while. So when you look at it in that sense, yeah, he was handpicked because they probably looked at it and was just like, you know what? He only rehydrates about 5 pounds. You can look at his prior fights. He don't look heavy at all. He don't look heavy at all. Like he comes in no more than like 140. And when you're doing that, your skills have to be, extreme in order for you to get away with that.
And then you got to look at it from their side too. And this is, I'm not defending them, but I'm looking at it from their side. You can honestly say that he's never truly fought a guy that's a boxer, meaning a guy that uses the jab, moves around, gives you different angles. He's fought guys that he's either been crazy enough to come right at him, or guys that don't have the ability to avoid his coming forward. You see what I'm saying? So they had to throw an 8-ball, but doing that, they definitely didn't go find a guy that had any pop. You see what I'm saying? So again, I never said Tego had knockout skills. I just was saying his resume and the accomplishment that's on paper should have got him an opportunity at a title shot. Right. So since the 4 kings are in the picture, that brings him up with them. So he got an opportunity at one of them. Didn't do so well. But again, the big issue is what it is. Bro, you know what it is.
I ain't gonna lie. For Vlog to bring that name up and he ends up getting a Ryan Garcia shot, credit the BoxingFirstVlog on that. Real rap. I like not even being on no funny shit, joking around, none of that. Big shot.
I mean, he popped up on Dazan. You know what I'm saying? He popped up on Dazan about 2 months later.
It's only
after that,
it's only so much you can say to Vlog because I mean, when he brought him up, we didn't know who the hell he was, and for that name to get not only the zone shot, he got the Mason Menard shot, and then turn around and get the Ryan Garcia shot. The guy, the name that he mentioned, like Vlog could have mentioned any name in the world at 135, and he chose that one. So salute the Vlog for digging in the crease. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Bruce, he said, I take steroids every 20 days for medical reasons. Yeah, I mean, listen, people think like steroids is for just like enhancements in terms of like athletes. Like my brother has asthma. There's steroids in his asthma medicine. You understand what I'm saying? So steroids is really in the medical field. Like steroids is in a lot of different things, but steroids can affect your body, you know, in a multitude of ways, depending on, you know, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Martha Rodriguez, hey boo, hey, what's going on, boo? YSM, he said 2022 Juice Crew. Hey man, it is what it is, bro. He said fight was signed at 138. Was the fight signed at 138? I thought it was signed at 135, and they upped it to 139. Is that true?
It was signed at lightweight, and 3 weeks ago, bro, they were saying, oh, there's going to be, you know, a weight clause in the contract. Yeah. So they doubled back, bro.
Yeah, if it's
there would have been no reason to promote it.
Yeah,
as a 35, and then you come at the last minute. I agree with Jeff. They already knew what the plan was. They knew he wasn't going to come in on weight.
Yeah, I thought YSM kind of confirmed what I thought. Charles Wilson, chilling my brothers, resting my feet. Hey man, that's all we can do out here, good brother. Rest your feet, talk some boxing. Bruce Ryan will get killed if he faces any of the queens. Listen, I think, like I said 2 years ago, I say it now, out of the top 4 or 5 names at 135, I feel like Ryan Garcia loses to all of them. I just don't think technically he's polished enough. He doesn't maximize his physical abilities inside of the ring. He kind of reminds me of Amir Khan in the sense of like he has so much physical talent that the ring IQ don't match the physical talent. And until that gap gets smaller, I'm gonna pick Tank and Devin Haney and Tiafimo and all them dudes over Ryan Garcia any day of the week. Bruce, I take testosterone if abused is the real anabolic drug. Testosterone is another thing that people take as well. But that's why I want to get.
Let me get in on that YSM joint.
This next one.
No, the one the YSM before you skip, and you just be replying to the comments as if I'm just sitting here and I can't read either. So
you talking about the 2022 Juice Crew? Are you talking about that one?
No, the one he was saying he won't take Ryan against any of the queens.
Oh, that was Bruce's comment. You said YSM. You said YSM. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Who did it? Go back to it real quick. Okay.
I'm on it.
Well, I apologize. So we both wrong. But anyway, I wanted to tap into it too, real quick. I disagree with that, Bruce. I think his size gives him advantage against Tank. His size gives him an advantage against Haney, who doesn't have the he may have punch resistance. I'll give him punch resistance, but his effectiveness with his power will be different than Ryan. So you'll have more a Ryan that'll be somebody that's bigger, easy to attack. So those he does have some advantages based on what we saw Saturday night. Even if the weight comes down, he still has some physical advantages. I just think physically he's a very physically intimidating young cat, and I don't think you just gonna go blast him out because he's not a scary fighter either. You feel what I'm saying? So I think he has chances against the top guy. He dusts Kambosos because Kambosos' heart gonna get in his way. So Kambosos will stand there and try to go toe to toe, and he going to sleep. So just on the way he fights, he's gonna get himself at a disadvantage. But the other two major names, yeah, I think he has action because he look at him, bro.
Fair enough. I mean, I think he'll be competitive. I think he'll be competitive. I still think he loses all them fights, but he'll definitely be competitive for sure. I don't think anybody blows him out to answer that.
That's my point. Nobody blowing him out.
YSM signed at 135 and up to 139. That's exactly what I thought. It was signed at 135.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
We just had a third. We just had a third person confirm it. That's all.
Man, I get front. I was getting frontline news from my guy, bro. So I was getting frontline
138. I heard it. No, it was signed at 135, bro, and it went straight to 139. It wasn't a 138. It went straight from 135 to 139. And they knew he wasn't gonna make it.
And it was and plus he wanted the back end weight when I guess they realized last minute there's no back end weight clause. So then he was like, "Oh fuck yeah, definitely raise the weight on that motherfucker."
Yeah, Bert Wood said, "I take Juice to mow the yard." That's a timestamp. What's that? An hour, 18 minutes?
Yeah.
Yo, that is funny. Yeah.
Send that one to me, Jeff. ASAP,
I
bro.
got you.
My phone don't work, bro. Man, I got you. The equipment falling apart over here and shit, man. I ain't even plugged up the computer. That's why I'm on the.
I'll DM it to your Instagram. I got you.
Yeah. Send it to the Instagram.
Test is king, but isn't Ryan Chen questionable? So you want to get at that
again?
First, bro?
See? Yes, please. If you look at his defense from last night, he showed us a little something. He actually linked back instead of stepping back out the back door. He stepped back out the back door is how he got caught by the old dude, Luke Campbell. So, yeah, Luke Campbell, as he got caught by Luke Campbell because he stepped out. If you seen in this fight, he shelled up and kind of looked like he was almost on his tippy toes, making my dude Tagu reach when he was even trying to poke the jab upstairs. He was making him reach. So his defense, to me, I seen some subtle improvement defensively against this guy, and that's coming forward. And that's usually when you're your weakest because you're so aggressively thinking offense that you could be slipping defensively. And he was actually coming forward doing pretty well to me defensively.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia was so disrespectful in that fight, man.
Another reason why Tagu couldn't get off. If a guy is really not giving you those openings, how can you get off? You're just not going to flail at the air.
Ryan Garcia was so disrespectful in that fight, man. I ain't seen a dude walk through the front door with no regard like that in a minute. Not the lower weight classes like that, man. It was hella disrespectful. But again, yeah, he was handpicked. But I think part of the reason was good weight.
Hold up, Jeff. Was it really the lower weight classes?
Well, 135, 140, I consider that low anyway.
But he came in 160, 158,
the
155. I know technically you're correct, but fight night. This was
that's the reason why he was that's the reason why he was so disrespectful. Like, he was very disrespectful. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Adrian, to get at that, people think like, oh, he got knocked down by Luke Campbell. You know, his chin is questionable. I'll say this. When you leave out the back door with your hands down, I don't care how good your chin is, you can get knocked down. Because part of you getting knocked down is balance, because you're leaving out the back door on your back foot with your hands down, which means you don't have all your balance anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So, hold on. He said, but Luke Campbell can't punch though, and Ryan was hurt bad. Adrian, you've been listening to Shane too much. When you actually look at Luke Campbell's knockout percentage, it's higher than some of the people that you think got power. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it for you right now, Adrian. Now, some people may think that he's not. Now, is he the strongest guy in the world? No, he's not. But
it was the timing of that punch.
Exactly.
He caught him at the worst he could have been caught. Now you got to equate the movement in that fight to the movement he had in this fight. Why could he move better and keep coming forward the way he was? I'm the bigger guy. So defensively, I can work on something different that I hadn't normally been doing in the past. And then there's other fights that he never even had to step out the back door like that per se. He could just let the dudes come at him. He absorbed the work and he'll slide off the ropes and things like that. He has the worst jab in the lightweight division, which is virtually no jab whatsoever, but he will throw it from time to time. And if you looked at that fight, they exchanged jabs at least, I would say, 6 to 7 times, where they literally were connecting at the same time. So Tagu was reaching him, but he was reaching him at a point where, damn, I'm getting hit, so I can't follow up, even if I wanted to, because I'm getting hit as I'm trying to get off. So, I mean, Ryan did what he's supposed to do, man. I can't say much about that fight anymore, bro. We need to tap into these other fights before we get out of here, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're going to have to tap into some of these tomorrow, too, but I feel you for sure. Just to cap that off, Adrian, Luke Campbell has 20 victories. He has 16 knockouts out of them 20 victories. That is an 80% knockout percentage. So he's not pillow-fisted. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, not pillow-fisted, but there's guys that, you know, they got perfect knockout records, and we don't think of them as power guys. Look at Gary Antoine Russell. Got 15 fights, 15 knockouts, but is he known as a power guy? No, he's not. Berlanga went on a run, and we been said he wasn't no killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you can't really read. That's a Shane thing. Shane think Luke Campbell is, you know what I'm saying? Like, but let's get into this fight before we get up out of here, man. Let's get into the Triple G Murata fight, and then we can cover everything else tomorrow. Triple G Murata, just what did you see the fight? What did you think, bro?
I ain't gonna lie, man. For a dude that was 40 years old, his defense improved, but it did improve against a guy who, I mean, you can kind of move on. You know what I mean? He wasn't a guy that was going to make you move that way and then answer your movement. Like some guys, they so good offensively, they going to step right, make you move left, and here come the left hook. And that's basically from, you know what I'm saying, that or orthodox stance or something like that. But with a southpaw, they might step right and then run you back into a straight left hand. You see what I'm saying? So there's different ways that offensive guys can set you up. And I just thought it was a great fight in general, though. You know what I mean? I thought his movement was good for OG dude, man, and his power is still there. You know what I mean? His power isn't stinging and blazing. You see what I'm saying? It's not that counter shot that's early in the fight, and oh my God, it's the wear and tear. And he got so many of them right hands home. And then that's another thing. He got that right hand home, technically off the back foot. Technically, not quite going backwards and throwing at the same time, but he took a step back, he hit the ropes and let his hands go. So it's almost off the back foot.
He, after round 5, he couldn't miss with that lead left hook. He could not miss with that lead. That lead left hook was money. And for somebody to throw a lead left hook and he's not necessarily quick, that means you got to change the trajectory of your shot midair. Not everybody can do that. And we need to give Triple G credit for that. We actually seen Ugas do that against Pacquiao. He changed. Remember, he was throwing that right hand all night long. He kept on changing the trajectory of it. Pacquiao couldn't get out of the way of it. Triple G was doing the exact same thing. Man. I think from round 5 on, round 6 on, I mean, he put on a masterpiece.
Now, in shade towards Murata, his defense has got to be the worst I've seen from a champion in a minute, bro. Like the shell defense with no foot movement. He didn't step to the side, shelled up. He didn't go forward and try to bully, like push the opponent off of him in the shell. He literally just shelled up, and whatever shot could get through was just getting through, and the wear and tear built up to where the shell even softened up. And that's how the right hand got around, because if you notice the situation, Triple G had got off, and then Murata was trying to answer, even kind of hurt, but he answered without the tightest defense wasn't good for the fight anyway, because you can't absorb. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't Ali, man. He didn't rope the dope. So he was absorbing without any movement, not leaning. And it's like, my dude, you just catching everything. It might be on the hands here and on the elbow there, but he was catching that left hook to the body. Like she's Christ, man. I mean, Triple G didn't look young, but he looked good for a guy that was 40. That's the best 40-year-old victory I've seen. And that's including Bernard. That's including Chavez. I don't think any of them have had a victory against, quote unquote, the elite competition, because this guy's a world champion. So obviously you got to regard him as one of the top guys in the sport. And then he did it in his backyard. And he did it again at 40, man. That's 40 that's a lot of years in the game of boxing, bro. 40 to a street dude is like, for a boxer, man, that's more like 60 to, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, that's you've been on the planet, you done doubled down on most dudes based on your activity, wear and tear on your body, things like that. And for his engine to still be as good as it was in that fight, I mean, but Murata helped him, though. I ain't gonna lie, because he was out there like a sandbag just soaking up water. And eventually the sandbag gonna spring a leak.
I was impressed with Triple G from 6 on. Ever since he hit him with that right hand, knocked his mouthpiece out. From that point on, Triple G just was typical Triple G in there. He looked a little more bulkier up top. Looked like he'd been hitting the weights a little bit. But we talked about that before. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
Now, remember when he was fighting Derevianchenko, and we give him all that moxie credit? He was showing moxie too in this one, but it was a different sort of moxie. It was acknowledging, oh, okay, you just hit me. Let me dip here. Let me lower here. Let me get off the line. It wasn't that, bicycle defense that Tagu may have showed us. It was subtle movements for OG that he didn't do in the same toe-to-toe, back-and-forth sort of fight. Because Murata had his moments. That's not saying Murata got whitewashed, but towards the end, he couldn't absorb anymore. And Triple G, his movement helped him. When he did get hit, he didn't repeatedly keep getting hit.
Yeah, the first quarter of the fight, you could say Murata was winning the fight. First quarter of the fight, pretty much, he just took too many shots, and like I said, no defensive IQ at all. I can't even call that a shell defense. I don't know what that was. It was kind of just like it was a sign that just said hit me. You know what I'm saying?
Basically,
Like,
bro.
you know, it
Yeah.
is what it's, hold on. Adrian said, how much do you think Russ played early in the fight? I think, but we predicted that Triple G was going to start slow. He's fighting in another guy's hometown, different time
But
zone.
he usually does, doesn't he? He's not a guy
No,
that
he
comes
usually
out blazing in the first round.
he don't come out blazing, but he gets his point across early. This was the first time I
I
seen
would
him not
say,
get his point
especially
across early.
after the age of 36, I would say the last two fights between 36 and 40, he's been a slow guy because Derevianchenko was up on some rounds, if I can remember that fight, because he had more volume, and Triple G wasn't getting going. Even the second fight with Canelo was getting off early. So I just think he showed he did that in this fight. He was letting old boy get off, but the last minute movements of getting off the line, the subtle rolling with the punch, he wasn't eating them like he did in Derevianchenko. It was like Rock'em Sock'em with Derevianchenko, and not as much in this fight.
Yeah,
to me,
I can agree with that. His last couple of fights, even the fights where he's gotten off, has been against lesser competition. Zarameta, Steve Rolls, guys like that. You're supposed to get off early against some dudes. I agree. I ain't really got too much to add to that. Despite me being impressed with Triple G the back half of the fight, I still don't want to see the Canelo Triple G 3. I just rather see him fight anybody.
I got
Canelo.
a question though. I do got a question. What weight would that be at?
68.
Okay, so why not give the opportunity to a new champion, which you are being talked about being Charlo? So, maybe there's clamor for this fight. Maybe they've pre-seen numbers. They did some kind of poll or something. I don't know.
That's a
maybe they think
that's a fight the zone want. To be honest,
yeah,
nobody wants that fight but the zone. That's a house fight.
It's like it's the same scenario with Rolly and Tank.
That's a house fight. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
And you don't rate Rolly as high because they stole the fight against Jackson Ramirez where he completely lost. You know what I'm saying? So, there's no arguing that. Come on now.
Bro. That's probably the best comment of the show. Like that's a house fight. That is a DAZN house fight. Nobody wants it but them. And it is what it is. But we
timestamp that 132.
we gonna time 132. We gonna timestamp that one. We gonna Adrian said DAZN has been asking for that fight since 2019. Exactly. Yeah, it's a house fight. They've been asking for that for years. So, that's basically DAZN's going to front the money. So, yeah, we going to get it. But we going to cover it, but we're not necessarily excited about it. But, we going to close this one out, man. Hour 33 minutes. That's good work for us today. The weekend cards are so crazy. We have to double back and do a part 2 to this tomorrow. So tomorrow we're definitely going to cover Lubin and Fundora in detail.
I gotta talk about my guy Shane Mosley Jr.'s performance. That was on my live. Check out the live if you want to. Yeah. It was some decent fights.
We missed out on a lot of money, bro.
Meyer looked good.
Yeah, we missed out on a lot of bread, bro. Because we did.
Yeah, we did, man.
We did the betting show.
I don't know if what's the name on FanDuel. I think they took boxing off of FanDuel, bro, because I ain't see that shit up there this weekend.
You know what they be doing, bro? And this is something that I have to address because of the new sponsor that we got. They put those fights up like right before it'd be like a night.
I told you that too. Night. I think the undercard fights you might not catch them until before the damn event comes on.
So we need actually a screenshot of the lines from the UK, basically. Once we start, the sponsor and all that. But tomorrow we're gonna cover Sebastian Fundora and Erickson Lubin in more detail. Shane Mosley Jr., Gabe Rosado in more detail. Who else? Tony Harrison, Garcia. We're gonna cover that more in detail. So there's a lot more fights that we have to cover. Patrick Teixeira getting DQ'd. So it's a lot we got to cover tomorrow. We probably going to be covering this until Wednesday, and then we're going to leap into we're gonna leap into this weekend's fights with Spence and Ugas, and we definitely got to get into Stan Jonas and Batayev, Brandon Lee, Zachary Ochoa. We got a monster lineup this upcoming weekend, but we're gonna be working. We're gonna be working all week long, man. But big shout out for VP Shane for blessing us with his presence and the cameo and the palm trees and all that. Like I said, I'm paying this guy entirely too much money. You know, I ain't seen palm trees, and I'm the owner of this goddamn company. Something's wrong with this picture. I talk to payroll vlog. I got to talk to payroll, man. But follow VP Shane at I_am Shane, the #1 on Instagram. Give him your social media so we can get up out of here, bro.
Man, you see it on the screen on YouTube. Boxing First Vlog. Been doing lives more or less. Trying to bang out some videos here and there when I can. But anyway, most of the work on IG and Twitter. You can follow me on IG at Boxing, the #1 STVLOG, and the work be up there consistent. You know, putting the eyes numbers up and just different information that I find interesting. I don't be trying to stick to the norm all the time. And then, you know, they hate on the clips. So my clip game is, you know, null and void on the social media sites. So, but yeah, I still put out interesting info on these ones. So tap in with me, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's Boxing First Vlogs YouTube link. And actually, we got to change that because since you over 1K, you can customize your joint. So you could just make it youtube.com/BoxingFirstVlog. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you know how to do all that shit.
Yeah, we'll definitely customize the link so people can get to it a little bit easier, man. Y'all can find me all over the place, man. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, G5Jeff TV, website G5Jeff TV. We currently actually have somebody tomorrow looking at the website. We need to do some updating, things like that while Shane is out there in the palm trees and shit. So we're gonna take care of that and get some articles and stuff up. I actually got to talk to you off camera. I don't know how long you're gonna be up, but I got to talk to you off camera. It's like 2
I gotta go to work.
No, I'm talking.
And I told you
text.
Yeah,
text.
My phone.
Text.
That phone.
Well, let me know when you message me when you available. And then
yeah, I got you.
got you.
Well, hit me through IG. Just hit me on IG.
IG. All right, I'll hit you on IG and we can handle it that way. So listen, we're gonna be back tomorrow. We still covering the weekend's fights. That's how many fights it was. And you know, we're gonna leave it there, man. So this was episode 79 of the Goodfellas Podcast on behalf of VP Shane, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K, and your boy G5Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru, on behalf of the staff. See y'all tomorrow.